Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Hopewell. I'm your host, Charles Hawk, and I'm bringing you this week's Morning Buzz. Today is Friday, May 5th, and it is an A Day. We start today with me. Hi, I'm Charles Hawk, and I'm here to tell you about the absolute legend, Oten Shimakawa. Oten Shimakawa was born in 1892 in Miyako, Japan. After moving to Tokyo, he would become a manga artist. His work would include political cartoons, as well as a series following his character Imokawa Makuzo. But in 1917, Shimakawa had a revelation. What if the manga moved? He then created and released a short film titled Imokawa Makuzo Genkanban no Maki. While not the first animation from Japan, that title goes to a 3-second clip from 1907, his film is often considered to be the first anime as it was the first to have been created commercially. This film was drawn on a blackboard with animated parts erased and redrawn. After this film, he would then go on to create 4 more films before ending his animation career due to chronic health problems. Now, you may be wondering why I haven't shown you any of these films, and that's because they're lost media. No copy of any of these films is known to exist. But despite his films no longer existing, his legacy does. His movies inspired many other animated movies to be made in Japan, and eventually led to the greatest medium ever being created: anime. Thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something about this awesome creator. Very nice job, me. Now, we send it off to Mike, who will talk about the greatest sport known to man.
Hi there. My name is Michael Avanzato. Today I'm going to be touching on a very important topic, a secret passion of mine that I've kept out of the public eye for far too long. Today, I'm going to be telling you about roller derby. For those of you that don't know, roller derby is the second most intense sport of all time, right behind badminton. It's produced some of the biggest names in sports history, like Harold Mr. Mean Jackson and Bonnie Thunders. The object of the game is to skate all the way around the track and lap your opponents. A standard match is an hour's worth of 2-minute segments. There are 3 positions in roller derby. There's the blockers, who are the big bodies trying to block the other team from getting by. There's also jammers, who are the ones trying to skate around the track and get by everyone. These are your star players, which you can tell because they got a little star on their helmet. And then there's these guys who are called pivots. They're also there. But realistically, you don't need to understand the rules of roller derby to enjoy it. It's one of the most entertaining sports for many reasons. There's not really any restrictions on what you can and can't do to get by your opponents, which leads to some pretty extreme moments. There's also a secondary objective of having the most drip on the track. Roller derby will go down in history as one of the greatest sports of all time. I hope you learned something about this classic American pastime.
Truly one of the most prolific sports of all time. Now, we head back to the hallways to ask students their worst excuses for being late.
I'm going to be asking kids their worst excuses for being late. What is the worst excuse you've ever given for being late?
I hit a deer with my car.
I don't know, probably like traffic is probably the worst excuse, or like just some like random thing like I didn't do my homework.
Okay, Colin, what is the worst excuse you've ever given for being late?
It was a Monday and I said I got caught in line at P-Bagel.
Nice. What is the worst excuse you've ever heard from a student for being late?
I guess when their parent drove them to Dunkin' and there was a long line at Dunkin'.
Okay, what is the worst excuse you've ever given for being late?
I'm never late, so...
I'm not late, usually at least. Just be on time, it's a way of life. Since it's May, it's time once again for the book of the month. May is Asian Pacific Heritage Month, and that brings us to this month's recommendation, Frankly in Love by David Yoon. Frankly in Love is a story of a Korean-American high school senior who has to navigate his parents' immigrant beliefs while also beginning to date. Check it out to see how things unfold. Now it's time for the movie mystery.
I don't want to brag, but I will. I was in the Avengers.
The Avengers?
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. What is that?
Wait, you don't have the Avengers? Is that a band? Are you in a band?
Last week's movie mystery was The Fly. That's all for today. Have a great day, CHS.